When most people think of turning points in the American Civil War, the Battle of Gettysburg often dominates the conversation. However, occurring almost simultaneously was another decisive victory, one that arguably held even greater strategic value: the Siege of Vicksburg. Often overshadowed in popular memory, the fall of Vicksburg on July 4, 1863, split the Confederacy in two and gave the Union control of the Mississippi River. This campaign, masterfully orchestrated by General Ulysses S. Grant, was a critical blow to the Confederate war effort and a defining moment in the war's outcome. The strategic importance of Vicksburg. Perched high on bluffs overlooking a bend in the Mississippi River, Vicksburg, Mississippi, was known as the Gibraltar of the Confederacy. It was the last major stronghold the South held along the Mississippi River, which served as a vital transportation and supply route. If the Union could seize it, they would control the entire river and effectively cut the Confederacy in half, isolating Texas, Louisiana, and Arkansas from the eastern Confederate states. Grant's bold campaign. General Ulysses S. Grant, commanding Union forces in the Western Theater, understood the significance of Vicksburg. His campaign to take the city was a masterpiece of military strategy, involving a series of feints, river crossings, and rapid maneuvers. After several failed attempts to approach Vicksburg directly, Grant boldly marched his army down the west side of the river, crossed south of the city, and struck inland, cutting himself off from traditional supply lines. In less than a month, Grant's forces won a series of battles at Port Gibson, Raymond, Jackson, Champion Hill, and Big Black River Bridge. These victories forced Confederate forces under General John C. Pemberton to retreat into Vicksburg, where Grant surrounded them. The siege begins. On May 18, 1863, the siege began in earnest. With Vicksburg encircled, Grant launched two failed assaults on the city before settling into a classic siege. For 47 days, Union forces bombarded the city while cutting off supplies and reinforcements. Inside Vicksburg, conditions deteriorated rapidly. Food was scarce, civilians and soldiers alike took shelter in caves to avoid constant shelling, and morale plummeted. Eventually, starvation and desperation forced General Pemberton to surrender on July 4, 1863. Ironically, the city would not celebrate Independence Day again for decades. The aftermath and legacy. The fall of Vicksburg, along with the Union victory at Gettysburg just one day earlier, marked a profound turning point in the Civil War. With control of the Mississippi River, the Union had successfully executed a central part of its Anaconda Plan to strangle the South economically and logistically. The Confederacy was now split, and Grant's success catapulted him into national prominence, eventually leading to his promotion as commander of all Union armies and later the presidency. Despite its significance, the Siege of Vicksburg often takes a back seat in Civil War narratives, perhaps due to its protracted nature and lack of a single dramatic battle. Why Vicksburg deserves more recognition. Vicksburg was more than just a military victory, it was a logistical and strategic triumph that showcased the evolving nature of warfare. Grant's campaign displayed the power of maneuver, deception, and siege tactics, all of which would influence military operations for generations. While Gettysburg captured the imagination with its high drama and cost in lives, Vicksburg quietly delivered a death blow to the Confederacy's hopes of survival. It deserves to be remembered not just as a turning point, but as the turning point that ensured the eventual Union victory.